A new WWE Saudi Arabia deal could be on the horizon, with the country looking to host WrestleMania and/or the Royal Rumble in the future. Ric Flair reportedly is considering legal action following an incident in a Florida restaurant. WWE's creative team reportedly is concerned that Jacob Fatu's presence could overshadow Solo Sikoa in the ongoing Bloodline storyline. Details on the involvement of CMLL and Stardom in this year's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Taz is set to miss tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite. The city of Detroit reportedly is working on a bid to host WrestleMania 43. Plus, we have the ratings for this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the developing news regarding WWE's relationship and agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, since 2018, WWE has hosted 10 premium live events in Saudi Arabia, including shows like Crown Jewel, Night of Champions, and Elimination Chamber. However, a reported update surrounding Saudi Arabia's existing agreement with WWE could see more major PLEs hosted in the country. WWE is currently 6 years into their 10-year agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which already looks likely to be extended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And according to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, Saudi's current chairman of General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al-Sheikh, is looking to bring larger events like the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. Coppinger explained more details about the possible agreement on X by saying, quote, "At Turki Al-Sheikh tells ESPN an enhancement to Saudi Arabia's existing agreement with WWE will be announced later this month. Specifically, Al-Sheikh is looking to bring January's Royal Rumble or WWE's top event WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. Since 2018, WWE has held at least one of its premium live events in Saudi Arabia. WWE first staged events in the kingdom in 2014. On May 25, 1 week after the Tyson Fury-Alexander Usyk Undisputed Heavyweight Championship boxing match in Riyadh, WWE will hold King and Queen of the Ring in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. WWE hosted the greatest Royal Rumble for the first PLE to take place in Saudi Arabia back in 2018, making it the biggest Royal Rumble of all time, featuring 50 participants entering the match. However, it appears the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is now interested in hosting the traditional Royal Rumble event as well as WrestleMania in their country, meaning if this possible new agreement comes to fruition, WWE could bring both events outside of North America for the first time in their respective histories. As Coppinger noted, this enhancement to the Saudi Arabia's existing agreement with WWE will be announced later this month, which could align with WWE's next PLE in Saudi Arabia, that being King and Queen of the Ring on May 25th. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Let me know your reaction to the possibility of both WrestleMania and or the Royal Rumble heading to Saudi Arabia in the future. Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let me know your reaction to it in the comment section below. Now, a bit of an update when it comes to Ric Flair and the incident in a Florida restaurant. Now, after not appearing on AEW programming since March, Ric Flair made the news again this week following an incident involving him in a Gainesville, Florida stove oven pizza restaurant last weekend. Now, Flair initially claimed on social media that he had been wrongly asked to leave the establishment, followed by a manager from a sister restaurant claiming Flair had been drunk and disorderly. Now, this was followed by video of the incident being released over TikTok yesterday, which allegedly shows a belligerent Flair arguing with the staff. Here's the video in question.
Yeah, good. Well, I didn't do anything wrong, except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you.
Why would it be bad for me?
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
I don't follow social media.
Well, you better.
I don't get stuck on my phone.
What's your name, nut job? Nicholas what?
Yeah, 4 months.
Nicholas Dickhead.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
Don't ever talk.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
You don't have to do this to me. You're humiliating me and my family.
I'm not humiliating you.
I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into a bathroom.
And you cussed on my kitchen manager.
Oh, you're a kid I accosted. Really? What world do you live in?
The same world you
What
live
world do I
in.
deal? How did I accost him? Did I
I
touch
don't
him?
know. Cuss him. You said cuss word. You
I
did
never
cuss
said a
him,
cuss
okay?
word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. Let's go.
God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass. If you walk outside here,
You don't have to be disrespectful to me, sir. We're being
I
respectful
know
to you.
you're disrespecting me,
How am I disrespectful?
telling me to leave.
I'm not telling you to leave. We're just telling you that you're cut off.
Oh, I'm cut off because I'm drunk? Really?
Yes, sir. It don't matter if you're famous or not. It's the
Here,
same
ma'am,
experience.
ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip.
All right, I'll let me do it.
$1,000 tip.
Here, give me
This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes dipshit.
You don't have to call me like that.
I just said it.
I never did.
I'll say it again. You're a dipshit.
You have to get out of here right now.
Oh, I'm leaving. Trust me.
Thank God.
I won't come back again.
Thank God.
Come on inside here and talk to me like a man.
I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock.
You push you are. You're on the pussy clock.
Go outside if you want.
I was gonna stop.
Hey, you want to go out and talk with me in the parking lot? Because I don't work here. I don't give a shit. We'll talk to you.
I'm sorry, sir, but
What's that?
You heard me.
What's that?
no, sir. Please stop. Please stop. Okay?
What did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
Excuse me.
Oh, I brought my whole family here.
I need one of those little bar straws for big spoons.
Do you know how many?
Just one.
Just one?
I'm not mad. I have no reason to be mad.
Now, some new developments in this story, because it certainly is getting quite interesting, because now on Wednesday, Flair is giving his side of the story, speaking with the Gainesville Sun. Flair stated that he was approached by a member of the kitchen staff while attempting to use the restroom, seemingly for an autograph, which Flair declined. He claims the staff member then went into the restroom stall, and that after several minutes, Flair could still see the staff member sitting and texting through a crack in the stall door. At that point, Flair told him to get off your ass so that the Nature Boy could use the restroom. After finally doing so, Flair, who said he was happy as could be, claims to have been accosted by a female staff member who accused Flair of being a peeping Tom for spying on another staff member. Flair took offense to these remarks, leading to a confrontation seen on the video between Flair and the manager of the establishment. Now, contrary to his claims in the video, Flair did admit to cussing out the kitchen staff member earlier, while also confirming he did tip a female bartender $1,000, even though she didn't oblige his request to tell the manager to kiss his ass. Now, the co-owner, Jerry Roberts, also spoke to The Sun, revealing the tip was rejected and the restaurant instead paid the employee $1,000. As he has said in earlier statements, Roberts commended his staff for their professionalism and said the leaked video speaks for itself. That still may be enough for Flair, who revealed he was considering filing a lawsuit against the establishment, even joking he could buy the restaurant and rename it Ric Flair's Italian Bistro if he felt so inclined. The Nature Boy also apologized to anyone who was offended by the incident. So what do you make of this? Do you think it's the end of it, or do you think we could see legal action in the future? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, this is an interesting story coming from WrestleVotes about the ongoing Bloodline storyline. Of course, now the Bloodline has undergone several major changes on SmackDown since WrestleMania, with Tama Tonga debuting on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and he and Solo Sikoa kicking Jimmy Uso out of the group. The latest Bloodline member debuted at Backlash when Tanga Loa interrupted the tag team match between Tonga and Sikoa against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, officially joining up with his brother and Solo in the new Bloodline. However, despite Tanga Loa's debut, another Bloodline member is still waiting in the wings, that being Jacob Fatu, who officially signed with WWE last month. In an update from WrestleVotes, there has been some trepidation in the WWE creative team regarding Fatu's upcoming addition to the Bloodline, with the belief that his presence could outshine Solo Sikoa at this stage. Here's what was tweeted. It said, quote, "Interesting tidbit here. Sources suggest that Solo Sikoa's recent aggressive streak is part of a strategy to establish him as the main force within this new phase of the Bloodline ahead of Jacob Fatu's debut. However, some trepidation remains within creative over fear that Fatu's presence could outshine Solo at this stage." Now, do you think these fears are founded, or do you think they're unfounded? Let me know your thoughts about that too in the comment section below. Now, a bit of an update when it comes to the AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view this year, because it may have some additions to it. Now, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful spoke with Rocky Romero ahead of the May 11 New Japan Resurgence show and spoke to him about the genesis of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. While he clarified that Forbidden Door will always be a New Japan AEW co-branded show, he also opened up about other companies possibly being involved. In the past, New Japan and AEW have split many of the costs associated with Forbidden Door. Romero told Fightful that Stardom will, quote, definitely be a part of this year's Forbidden Door, and said CMLL will very likely be part of Forbidden Door as well. He followed up and said after that, the sky is the limit. Of course, CMLL and both AEW and New Japan have partnerships. Forbidden Door takes place on June 30 at the UBS Arena on Long Island, and certainly, of course, we get any more details on the nature of their involvement in the future, we'll let you know. Now, tonight's another edition of AEW Dynamite, but one person who is going to miss tonight's broadcast will be longtime AEW color commentator and fan favorite Taz, as he said he's going to miss tonight's episode of Dynamite due to ongoing issues with his knees. The 56-year-old took to X to give fans the latest update, saying that due to treatment on one knee and a procedure on the other, he was not going to be at Dynamite tonight. Here's what he said, quote, unfortunately, I will not be at Dynamite tonight. Been getting some treatment on my knee and a procedure on opposite knee this week. Flying/travel just not possible. I'll be back next week. Tonight's show will be awesome. Make sure you watch it live tonight. Of course, we wish Taz the best in his recovery. Now, an interesting update when it comes to a future WrestleMania, of course, after we now know the location for WrestleMania 41 being Las Vegas. WWE is coming off one of the biggest editions of its premiere show, WrestleMania 40, which shattered records and garnered mainstream attention for the huge business and global juggernaut. The event set the tone of a brand new era that ushered in WWE, led under the charge of WWE CCO Paul Triple H Levesque. Now, a month after WrestleMania 40 came to its close, WWE recently announced that next year's show of shows, WrestleMania 41, will take place on April 19 and 20 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The negotiations went back and forth with Minneapolis and Las Vegas emerging as top contenders. However, the bid eventually went to Sin City, and possibly looking at that, Detroit has entered the early race in their quest to host a possible edition of WrestleMania down the line. As reported by the local Detroit radio, a bid has been in the works by the Detroit Sports Commission to host WrestleMania 43 at Ford Field in 2027. The plan, reportedly, is to celebrate 20 years of the last show of shows held in Detroit, that being WrestleMania 23, and 40 years of the iconic WrestleMania 3. A tweet went out earlier today with lots of people saying this, saying, quote, according to local Detroit radio, Detroit Sports Commission is preparing a bid to host WrestleMania 43 at Ford Field in 2027 in celebration of 20 years of WrestleMania 23 and 40 years of WrestleMania 3. So if we get any more details on that, of course, in the future, we'll let you know in a future video. Finally, we got the ratings for this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, of course, the post-Backlash edition of the show. Now, since the start of the NBA and NHL playoffs a few weeks ago, wrestling ratings have, as expected, taken a dip, with viewership for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite all declining from the norm. Some wondered if that could change for this past week's edition of Raw, the first WWE TV show to air since Backlash last weekend. Alas, the post-PLE bump wasn't enough to counteract more NBA and NHL playoff action. WrestleNomics and Sports Media Watch reported that Monday's Raw drew 1.619 million viewers, along with a 0.53 in the essential 18 to 49 demographic. While not steep falls, both categories were down from the previous week, with total viewership dropping 4% from 1.683 million, while the 18 to 49 also decreased 4% from a 0.55. Both numbers were down further compared to the 4-week average, with total viewership falling 13%, while 18 to 49 is down 16%. Raw's first 2 hours would go against Game 1 in both the NBA and NHL, including the Indiana Pacers versus New York Knicks and Boston Bruins versus Florida Panthers, while the final hour went up against Game 2 of the NBA's Minnesota Timberwolves versus Denver Nuggets series. As such, Raw came in fourth on the night, behind all 3 games, with Pacers Knicks drawing 4.254 and 1.44, Wolves Nuggets drawing 4.016 and a 1.47, and Bruins Panthers drawing 1.846 and a 0.53. Even with competition, Raw would follow its usual patterns, starting strong in hour 1 with 1.706 million viewers and a 0.56, before decreasing increasing to 1.692 million and a 0.55 in hour 2, and 1.460 million viewers and a 0.48 rating in hour 3. The show was built around the beginning of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, which are set to conclude at WWE's next PLE, that being King and Queen of the Ring, set to take place in Saudi Arabia later this month. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.